Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Fargo Force Show, our first edition of the show for the 2015-2016 season. I'm your host, Trevor Peterson, and joining us to get the season started, once again, is head coach and general manager of the Force, Cary Eades. Coach, welcome back, and how excited are you to begin another season? You're second with the Force.
Yeah, very excited, Trevor. We think we've done a nice job of, first of all, getting a number of veterans back, 10 in total, and doing a nice job of getting some younger players that we've drafted in the last couple of years. And then we've done a good job of stealing some players, some other teams that are in other junior leagues, so some veterans to add to our veterans. So a nice mix of young and old.
All right, now before we talk some serious hockey, I want to just ask you about your off-season. I know you're a big music guy. Give me your favorite off-season concert that you went to.
Oh, that's a tough one. I was able to go to quite a few, but Zach Brown Band at Target Field in Minneapolis was really exciting, and then Kid Rock at We Fest was also probably the top two shows of the summer.
All right, nice. Refreshed and ready for the season. Does as you get ready to start another season, does this always get the juices flowing for you, even? I mean, is this the same as you feeling when you started your coaching career, even to now, when you're on the cusp of starting another season?
Yeah, I think some years are a little more exciting than others. Definitely this year, with the excitement we have as the potential scorers. Mm-hmm. That was a bugaboo last year with scoring goals, and we really feel we've got some talent up front and some depth at all three positions. We've been able to build our team, and that's what gives you a chance to win. You have that inner competition to beat the outer competition. So we're excited. I mean, I think everyone's excited. Everybody's 0-0. Everybody's undefeated, but I think that we have a chance to be a real good hockey team this year. All
right, before we talk about this upcoming year, let's real quick put a bow on last year. The Force started slow, came on in the second half last year, finished the season with a 32-26-2 record. That's an improvement of 6 wins and 8 points from the previous year. However, the Force missed the playoffs by 1 single point. It came down to the final weekend of the regular season, Coach. 1 single point. You think of that long season, a point here or there, but that's what it came down to. How much did that fuel you guys, fuel the team, fuel your preparation? Did it play any part in this offseason and getting ready for another season, coming that close?
Yeah, absolutely. 120 points are up for grabs in a 60-game season, and we fell 1 point short. Very difficult. We put on quite a run. We really dug ourselves a hole in the first half of the season, and we're in last place or next to last for most of the first half, and then started playing better hockey. So our veterans should know that the points are important in September and October equally to March and April, and also how tough it is to win in this league and how many good competition teams there are. So with that in tow, I just think it bodes well for us to have that experience. Our guys are hungry. Obviously, everybody's first goal is to make the playoffs and then go beyond from there. So we're going to work real hard to solidify our team. There's roles to be earned. There's positions on the depth chart to be earned. A lot of newness, but the end season goal is still there.
All right, let's talk about some of those new guys. You mentioned the veterans. Of the 25-man roster, 10 guys returned that played for you last year, 7 forwards and 3 defensemen. A couple of names that Force fans are going to remember that you are going to rely on heavily this year. Forward Blake Lizotte. He was named a Force Rookie of the Year last year, 12 goals, 34 assists. And then forward Hank Crone, who was named the Force Most Improved Player from last year, 15 goals and 22 assists. Talk about those two guys very quickly and how much they're going to mean to you and the team this year.
Yeah, a couple of guys with big hearts and definitely guys that scored last year. And what's nice, I think we've added some veterans, some young guys around them to not only play with, but to take some pressure off. A real bonus coming back is Michael Graham decided to forego Notre Dame a year from now and come back and play a whole year for us. He's really had a great preseason here and looked like he's firing all cylinders. We have Odin Tufto and Christian Versich, 2 speedsters that fit in well together and some size guys. So Hank Crone and Blake Lizotte are going to be 2 of our leaders, but they're not going to be the only guys. The teams can't just focus on one line and shut us down.
Both goalies are gone from last year. 2 new goalies this year. They are Ryan Bischel. He was 24-1 for Benilde St. Margaret's last year. And the other guy is Matt Murray, who was the Canadian Junior Hockey League Goalie of the Year last year, 23-4 record, 91 save percentage. Talk about both those 2 guys, and pretty excited about your goaltender position heading into the season.
We are, and that was quite a change during the offseason. We were expecting Ryan Wishow to be back with us. It was originally committed to St. Lawrence. That's coaching staff moved on to UMass, and they brought him along with them. And that happened during the month of May after the draft. We didn't even draft a goaltender. We were pretty solid in Ryan coming back. And from there, we were able to recruit Matt Murray, as you mentioned, has played 2 years in Spruce Grove in the Alberta Junior League, and actually beat the USA, the team I coached in last December's World Junior A Challenge. So I know him personally, and we were able to recruit him and convince him Fargo was the place to play. And then Ryan Bischel, during the summer, decided to forego his senior year at Benilde St. Margaret's and won a spot in our September training camp. So got a nice 1-2 punch in goal, and you have to be solid in goal to win hockey games.
How much more confident and comfortable are you with the group of guys that you've assembled this year that fit kind of your style, the way you want to coach, the way you want the team to play?
Well, it's a big benefit to be back for your second year. Everything was new last year. You start off with the drills in practice, and nobody knows what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to continually stop practice and draw. This year we can have guys that return, get up to the front of the line, the other guys follow along and see what's going on. System-wise, same thing. You have some examples to use out there. The guys in the locker room that are returning are kind of like assistant coaches. They're helping the other guys with the systems. And so I think we're light years ahead than where we were starting the season off last year, with me being in my second year and the familiarity I have with the returning players and vice versa.
Give me the thing that you're most, if you have one, most concerned with right now as we kind of start the season. Maybe a thing where you're maybe not quite sure of so far.
Yeah, probably the opposition. I mean, I was really excited about our team till we went down to the USHL West Showcase in Omaha, and I saw how many other great teams there are in the West. It seems like maybe the West is a little bit more stacked right now. I guess time will tell. But I was really impressed by the other jobs that the other people have done in building their teams as well. So I thought we were going to be kind of one of the favorites, but I guess time will tell. There was so many good teams down there. They'll kind of sort itself out. But we got to concern ourselves about ourselves improving, getting a team. The opposition will fine-tune some things as we get more familiar with what they're doing. And
on the other side of things, you had mentioned it last year a little bit. One of the struggles was kind of scoring goals and everything. One of the things that you're most excited about, optimistic about this year, is that one of them maybe where you have a little bit more of that punch, or what are your thoughts on that?
No question about it. We were offensively challenged last year. We did a nice job in goals against. We had the lowest goals against in the league. We want to be that stingy, hard to score against type of team, but we've got to produce more goals. And that was an emphasis in our draft and in our recruiting. And as I mentioned, I think we're 3 lines deep that can put the puck in at any time. We should have 2 or 3 power plays that hopefully are going to provide us some offense. And to score 2.5 goals a game, which we did last year, puts a lot of pressure on your entire game. And it's very much like run production in baseball. You can have the best pitcher in the world, but you got to score some runs for him. So, that's what we're going to attempt to do this year. And, right now we're kind of not as far along in that as I'd like. I think we're still a little bit too cute. We have some summer habits that we're looking to tic-tac-toe with the puck too much, get the puck to the net, get some ugly goals. But scoring hopefully is going to be much improved from last year.
All right. As we mentioned, it's been a 3-year playoff drought for the Force. They take their first step towards ending that streak this week with the start of the season. Let's take a look at that. The first game of the season you start on Friday, September 23rd at Omaha. Then the following Friday, September 30th, the Force play their first home game of the season at Shields Arena. You host Waterloo there, and then that next day, October 1st, you're at Sioux City. Thoughts on those first 3 games and getting the season kicked off against those foes, Coach?
Yeah, I like how it sets up. The one game in the first weekend of the year is good. And there's a lot of newness, you're uncertain, but to be on the road, to get the guys on the bus on Thursday, head down to Omaha, it's kind of us against the world, some camaraderie, some team building, and just the one game. And then we can take the information that we garner from that game, positive and negative via video and just the experience of it, bring that forward into our home opener on Friday the 30th against Waterloo, and then back on the road the next day against Sioux City. So 3 games the first 2 weekends sets up well for us, and we'll know a lot more about our team 2 weeks from now.
Those playoffs for the first time in 3 years, and if Coach and his staff have anything to say about it, they will certainly get the job done. Thanks for joining us this week, Coach. Way to get the season off to a good start, and good luck.
Appreciate it, Trevor. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back for the Force Show every other week throughout the Force season right here on Inform.com.